everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are having an absolutely amazing day today. If you're new here, hi, I'm Liz, aka My Pastel Past, and I do a lot of Animal Crossing content here on YouTube, and I'm a variety streamer over on Twitch. I'm so excited to be bringing you all today's video. Today we are doing another speed build, only this time we are working on my museum. Now, I've been looking forward to this build for a very long time, and I got to test some stuff out on stream the other day. In case you missed that, I did go live here on YouTube just a few days ago, and I got to experiment with how I wanted this build to go and got to hear some feedback from you all. So I'll be sure to link that live stream down below in case you wanted to see what my initial idea was for this build. And I did kind of stick to it. I definitely kept the medieval walls and some of the castle gates that I had, along with the storefronts to the second level. So I did kind of stick with some of those aspects of it, but then I did change it up a bit, and for this build I expanded it. Since I was just really working on the front of my museum, I also did a little bit of building on the side just to make it kind of clean and pretty and just fully whole. Otherwise this video would have ended up being 3 minutes. But at this point, I'm just kind of putting on these gorgeous pink simple panels. I really like the color of these pink panels. It's very bright and it pops a little bit, which I really like against the castle gates. I love the castle gates. I find that they're not as much pink as they are peach colored, which isn't normally a big deal, but because my island is like a pink core island, everything is pink, it just seems very muted to me, and I'd wanted it to be more colorful, so I just added the little bit of pink detailing in the background to kind of add to that. And then on the second floor, I'm just adding some storefronts, some of those bunny day planters, and then a few topiaries, pillars, and then the wedding organ, I believe it's called. Yes, the wedding pipe organ. Now, I do change this up a little bit. You'll see here shortly when I have to run and grab more decorative pillars that I end up taking away the decorative pillars on the second story just because I do have the giant pipe wedding organ thing there as well. I noticed that with the height between both the wedding organ and the decorative pillars itself, it didn't really stand out to me. The pillars just kind of blended in with the organ, as you can kind of see there. So I end up taking it away. I just move the round topiary back a little bit and then just leave the organ there itself. That's just so I could save material, and I also just didn't really like how it looked there. It just looked kind of awkward. So I am fixing that up a little bit. I really like how you're able to rotate the wedding organ around though, so it creates this like tower pillared effect. I've never done that in any of my builds before, but I have seen people use it in the past, so I was really excited to finally be able to incorporate that into one of my builds. At this point, the bulk of the museum is really done, and alone it just kind of looks very plain and not very exciting. So I wanted to add a little bit of, I guess, character around it. So I'm just creating a little bit of an extra path. I'm trying really hard not to terraform too much on this island. Now, I will have to start terraforming soon because I am going to have the second cliff start right away. But that's what I'm kind of working on here. I'm going to add some medieval walls to the side of the museum so that it looks like a structure in its own. And then I'm going to have a path leading up to a staircase. And there I'm finally going to start on my second story cliff, which will have probably my own home and my villager homes, because I'm going to try to create a kind of neighborhood, but instead of a normal neighborhood the way I would typically have it with having their own backyards, my plan for that is to kind of create, I guess, the best way I can describe it is like townhomes for them. I did something similar for my entrance to my island with 2 of my villagers' homes there. So if you remember that build, I'm going to do something kind of similar for that one. But right now I'm grabbing a few extra materials, which are all of the medieval building sites. I love that we have access to those now. I love them so much. I think that they're just perfect when I'm doing builds like this. And then just grabbing a few little details like the wedding flower stands. I think that they are so cute. And I've never really used them much until this island. I didn't realize how much I actually like them. And that goes with most of the wedding items in general. I always thought, oh, I'm not making a wedding venue, I don't really need to use them. But you can use them in things other than a wedding venue. And I think it's absolutely amazing. So at this point, I'm just kind of building up the cliff because I am going to be adding in a little bit of a staircase right here. And that will start to add, I guess, a little bit of dimension to my island. So far, my island's been very flat, very spread out, I guess. And I'm finally going to start giving that little bit of dimension by adding a second cliff and having some staircases lead up to it. So I'm very excited to finally be working on a higher level than just the first one. But I'm not looking forward to having to terraform all of the cliff in. I'm not looking forward to that at all. But now I get to place in my paths, and I decided that I wanted to add some trees, have some greenery, because my island is very much pink and white. It's very bright. It's very blinding. I wanted to add as much trees as I could. So I'm going to have that little green strip of grass that you can see there. I'm just going to have lined with trees. And this is my attempt to make it kind of break up the pink paths a little bit, to make it not look as in your face. But then again, I'm also building during cherry blossom season, so at this point in time, most of my trees are going to be pink anyway. I did have to time travel a little bit just to get this staircase done and then have my trees grow, so we do get to see it with the green trees instead of the pink, which I kind of like. The green and contrasting the pink is very nice, but I also really just love the pink cherry blossom trees in general. I've never done builds in this season before, so I think it's really cool. Also, while I was about to place all the trees down, I noticed that you could see the cliffside, and because I want this to kind of look like a building or like an alleyway, I wanted to cover the cliff, so I just added a decorative pillar and a little simple panel, which you won't even really be able to see once the trees are fully grown. As you can see here, like, it's fairly covered, but it's just a tiny little detail that I wanted to add. And then as I was getting ready to wrap things up, I noticed that the right hand side of my museum was looking kind of bare. Didn't exactly know what I wanted to do with it, so we're just cleaning it up a little bit. We're touching up the path just slightly. I'm gonna add almost like a picnic area or a little park bench, I guess. Just a little place to rest outside after you've visited the museum. So that's what we're working on now. It just kind of ties everything in together. I have a really bad habit of not actually finishing builds and then going from one build to another. So to prevent myself from doing that, I told myself it's okay to touch up the surrounding areas of my build. So that's exactly what we're doing here. I'm kind of doing the same thing I did with the staircase by just lining the right hand side of the museum with these trees, leaving a little space in between each one. And then I'm just putting a few saplings here, which I'll have grow and be into these gorgeous trees that will kind of provide shade to any of my villagers who wish to sit in them. However, as anyone that's played Animal Crossing knows, our villagers like to annoy us in that they will never actually sit where we give them seating. Instead, they'll sit on the floor in front of it or block our path. I cannot be the only person that gets infuriated when this happens, especially if you're in the middle of a build or terraforming and there's like, you can see a bench or a chair right next to you and your villager will like look at it and then look at you and then sit down right where you're terraforming. I swear it happens every single time. If I'm doing cliff terraforming, and especially if I'm working on rivers, I swear my villagers know. They have like a sixth sense. They just come and show up and it's like, yep, she's terraforming, time to go sit right in her way. I don't get it. I don't know how they always know. But now we're just kind of working on like our little seating area. Like I said before, I love the wedding arches so much. I thought it was a great way to make like a little entrance into this area. And then I had to use the wood partitions. It wouldn't be a true build if I didn't use the wood partitions. I love them so much. Didn't realize how much I needed them in my life until I started working on this island because, oh my gosh, they are amazing and I love them so much. And then we just gonna add a few little flowers. And then one of my other new favorite items, the plaza bench, another item that I never really used much until recently. This island in particular is very interesting for me because I get to use so many items I've never used before. Like the plaza items, like the wood partition. So I'm really excited. I also realized that I didn't have any like picnicky area code, so I had to go find a code, um, and get that all sorted. And then it also looked a little barren, so I added yet another tree and another little bush. I think I have the azalea bushes, even though they won't be in bloom because I want to have pink trees instead. So kind of makes me sad. I think it would be really cute if you could have azalea bushes with the cherry blossom trees, but apparently not. And then I tried to be big brain and just place a bunch of paths at once. And of course, it never ever works for me. So I had to stand over each individual spot where I wanted this little cute carpet blanket thing to go. And then it finally worked. And then I found these little cute, they're like flowers, but sparkly, I guess, that I placed on the floor underneath the Pisces lamp. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's kind of cute. I like it as just adding a little bit more, I guess, dimension to the floor. Again, since I'm not able to use like my sunken waterfalls and all my other normal terraforming stuff, I've been trying to go outside of the box and find other ways to make it look all pretty. But now I get to skip and go see the end. So here we have our little seating area. I think it looks pretty cute. Very simple. I didn't go overboard with it, but now I'm just going to add the last few touches to the outside of my museum. As nice as it is right now with the water fountain, I thought at the very end that it looked very plain, that there wasn't much to it. So I grabbed a few round topiaries, I guess they're called, and then again going back in with the Bunny Day planter. I love those items so much. And then I just kind of lined the sides with them a little bit. Realized I didn't have any left, but I also small-brained and completely forgot that I had 3 more in my storage. So I went and I ordered even more Bunny Day planters and then customized a few of the topiaries so that they would be brighter green instead of the dull green that I got out of my inventory, just to add that little bit of color or pop to it. Because again, when it's just a bunch of white and pink on white and pink, they just kind of blend. So having that nice pop of green in there, I think really helps. And again, now I'm grabbing Bunny Day topiaries, like those little bunny statues. I had 5 of them in my pocket. I don't know why I went back into my storage to grab more when I already had them in my pocket. But I kind of use them as if they were little statues. But this is it. This is the final build. We have the beautiful pink background, the pops of green, a little seating area, and then our little staircase there. I really, really, really like how this turned out overall. It's much more pink than I would have expected, because when I first did this build on stream, I didn't have any of the panels or the arches ready. All I had was the second story, so all I could see was the storefront. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess this is going to be like my pink build or my white building then. But nope, it still turned out pink, but I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I shall see you all in the next video. Bye!